Oh,
Yay.
wow. Well, surprise live stream that we're gonna have to start like spamming it on everything, aren't we?
Oh shoot, we didn't do that beforehand, did we?
No, we didn't. Everybody's gonna like look at him as like, what the hell's going on here?
Oh well, such is life. Maybe Bobby's still awake.
No, he's probably completely dead. He's totally sleeping right now.
Probably. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's very early.
So Wayne, who is our wonderful guest today?
Our wonderful guest is my beard twin from SoCal Can Jam.
That was one of the funniest moments ever. Are you Leo? And it was another Asian person, which made it even funnier.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I still remember the first time I met when when I come back to the office, I text him, "What's the secrets of growing that dense beard?" That looks really awesome.
It's beard oil, genetics, beard soap bar.
Yeah, you introduced me a few products.
Yep,
So
I remember sending it
I'm
to
still
you.
using them. Yeah.
Not music, not IMs,
Nope.
but beard tips.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like right now, it's gotten pretty long. Like I feel like I should trim it, but my wife is like, no, just leave it, let it grow. She wants me to like get it to the point where I could start braiding it, and then also like I feel like if for Halloween next year, I'm gonna like grow it out long enough so I could like just throw it over my shoulder like the old kung fu like Chinese movies.
That's sweet.
That's what actually, sorry everybody. Today's stream is not going to be on music or IMs or anything like that. It's going to be on beard care.
Just beard tips. All right, I'm spamming our channel and everything.
All right, so Leo.
Yes.
How did you get into this? The IAM game, the tuning game, whatever.
If you are talking about the hobby, like I started the hobby like around 2008, like when I was really young, and my father, his students was working in a headphone company, and so at that time I was starting to know lots of the headphones. And when I really got into the business, the first stop was Unique Melody in 2015. I joined them as a marketing specialist initially. So at that time, I was just doing all the translation, like translate all the Chinese material, like marketing material to English and post them on Hi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about a year or two. Like when Mass Mark II was launched, they starting to sending me the demos, saying, "Okay, Leo, give us some advice, like or suggestions, what changes we should make." And yeah, and then the very first project I worked with them is actually FS, Fusan.
Busan. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first project, and soon I got a mentor, but mentor took a very long time. Like they basically sending me the two prototype at the same time, the FS and the mentor. FS because I know the whole Mason product line. I know that should be a mid-centric, a little darker sound, a very vocal specialist set. So finishing up of Mason was very easy, very quick, and then that was launched to product. But for Mentor, it took me about 1 year and a half to finish the product. And during that time, their engineer Lee, he's keeps sending me the prototypes. We went through like 4 or 5 prototypes, and then we had the final Mentor. And after Mentor, I think the next was Pantera, like this year. Yeah.
Many people really, really love Mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What were you going after when it came to Mentor?
So you were asking me. I was a little confused. Like so you were asking me my idea of tuning Mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, what was
Okay.
what you're going for with tuning it?
Okay. So the very first generation of prototype, like I noticed that it's a more energetic sound compared to the Mason. However, it's not enough. It's just like the very first prototype and the first and second prototype is actually they just based on Mason, they tune down a little bit of mids and adds a little bit bass and a little bit of treble, making it a little bit more V shape. And then that's the Mentor. That has been done for the entire life of Mentor. So from Mentor, the original, which was also my first custom CIEM, and to the Mentor V2, to the Mentor V3, V3 Plus, it's all doing things like that. Just tune down the mids, adds a little bass, adds a little bit of treble. From the multiverse Mentor, I was trying to do something different because you want that one to be a more modernized Mason, or at least a modernized tuning that has the same similar technical performance as Mason or better because it's modernized. So what I did is I took lots of inspiration from Mass series to tuning the Mentor.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, because I wanted to have a little unique sound is being a W shaped tuning.
Right.
Yeah. And during that time, the biggest trouble is like we don't know how to tune the bass because it's a BA bass, and if we are doing what we have done before, just simply add more bass, the texture won't be there. The like I want something that sounds groovy, but it won't be there. So fortunately, team they opened the hole on the bass driver, and then find that sounds better, and then they place a special order to Shenyang and let them make the customized bass driver and use that in Mentor and AP Ever Pro.
That's awesome. By the way,
Yeah.
Jonathan, you had a request in chat to why are you looking so serious all the time?
Sorry. Because
We're
I'm
just
listening. This is fascinating. It's interesting.
yeah, we're just completely enveloped by Leo, like just explaining everything because it's always fun to like hear how somebody's involved with this, with these projects and stuff like that.
Plus, I have a resting B face. Okay,
Not
so
at all.
from Mentor, what what did you learn from that? Like, because you've heard feedback, you've heard what people have said and everything like that, and it's been a much lauded IM. But what did you learn from that experience moving forward?
Um, to me, it's like in the past when I have the idea of tuning IEM, is always starting from like technical aspect, what we have right now, and what the sound we want to achieve. But in reality, especially when I'm tuning the Pantera, to me, the product itself makes more sense. Like it's more important, like what the final product will make of what type of feeling to me. That is more important instead of like I'm adding. I know a new driver. I need to add that new driver to my new product. It's the other way around. I want to achieve certain type of sound, then I'm starting to seeking for a new driver.
Mm,
That's completely changed my tuning, or actually it should be called product development uh, ideologies, things like that.
yeah,
No, that
you're not
makes
just
sense.
you're not just grabbing drivers to for the sake of
Right.
using new technology. You're trying to find the right fit to what you want to have presented to the music.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we get to you and your company with your friend John, tell me more about other companies that you have tuned for and how you've helped them.
QDC, like this year, QDC, Alpha Omega, and Quill, and in the past soft years, and currently working on a project with Arpico,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, and also some of the business I need to be confidential, so I cannot share a lot.
No, that's
Yeah.
understandable. So with King, King has such a King is such a soulful tuning. Like I remember when it arrived and I messaged you and I said, "Oh God, Billie Eilish, her voices on this thing." And like King is just such a full, soulful sound that is like, oh, it's an emotional sound. How did you come about like when they sat there and came to you and said, "Hey, we want to collaborate"? What I guess what is the basis where you're like, oh, well, I'm going to make it sound like this, or oh, I'm going to make it sound like that, or are you trying to maintain their house sound and just enhance it? Like, what are the thoughts that go into when a company comes to you and says, "Hey, can you do this, or can we try this?"
Yeah, that's actually the hardest part of like doing the collaboration. And collaboration not with which I used to work for, and not for John, which is a close friend of mine. He respects all my ideas. Like with the other company, if I'm doing a collaboration with them, I definitely need to respect their house sound. That's always the ground. Like I'm building up based on their house signature.
Okay.
So what I usually do is I just pull out all the graphs. You know, graphs doesn't tell everything, but it shows many important factors. So the first thing I do is like I pull out their in not the products I have, pull out the graphs, and I will find some spots like in my listening during my critical listening, I can detect some of the problem or some of the issues. Then I check with the graph. I found okay, here is the problem. Like let's work on this, and here is their house signature. This the part is good. I shouldn't touch. Let's use QEC as an example. Like their tuning, their mid range is basically very flat. It's a good and bad, but I respect that as a house signature. But most of their IEM has a very has an issue to at least to my ears. They sound too dry. It's too like monitor like. Well,
Right.
that's usually the issue at the upper mid. So upper mid and some parts at the base. If your base has too short in the decay, like the decay is very short, very well controlled. Not very well controlled. It's very controlled or too much control. Your sound well sounds dry. And if your upper mids doesn't have enough contract with the core mids or the treble, your upper mid well sounds like flavorless, especially at around 4K range, like
Okay.
4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for King is like basically I keep their mid range signature, made some adjustment to the upper mids to the bass. We changed the dynamic driver. I told them we have to change the dynamic driver. We need a dynamic driver that has a more linear presentation, more sub bass and then mid bass and then to the connection to the lower mids. Uh, so we change the dynamic driver. We do the crossover at the mids and treble, just rearrange the things, and then we come up with the king.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, there's a question in chat. Yo Enigma, I got the Spectromica, Trifecta, and Mephisto. Thinking of selling the Spectromica and getting one IEM to round out the collection. What's your top 3 suggestions? And Leo, we should put you on the spot too for your suggestions of what you think. Have you heard of the Spectromica?
Yes, I do. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm working on something that's related to that. But
Okay. Okay.
Top
I don't want to
secret.
leak too.
Top
Yeah,
secret.
I don't.
Nobody,
I
nobody
cannot leak
record this.
too much on that.
Well, on
Um,
that one. So hold on. Spectromica, Trifecta, Mephisto, and which one's he selling? Spectromica?
He's selling Spectromica.
Igris.
Amy Igris.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a good
thinking
one.
Igris if he's going to keep Trifecta and Mephisto. What do you think,
Yeah.
Leo? That's a tough one.
Top 3
Yeah.
suggestions, though, if you want to go for a few more options.
Omega?
Omega?
Omega is good. Yeah, it could be a good complement to what he has.
And
But
then,
it's
because
yeah,
I'm thinking, because like Trifecta is like your big speaker, like warm, bassy. And
Warm,
then you've
bassy.
got Mephisto, which was tuned for, if I remember correctly, house music or techno music. So maybe something that's a vocal specialist in that range. So Igris would work, Omega would work. Trying to think what else. Sorry, 102 reviews this year. I'm a little bit tired and my mind's a little bit frazzled. It's like
3
going
days
through
of
and going,
review.
How do you think of
huh?
something? I'm gonna name it. How do you think of something about the Quill Satin in the library collection, or is it
Jesus
too
Christ, of
close?
course the satin. Or the king.
Or the King
Yeah.
that we were just talking about?
But satin for sure, because I think it does voices very, very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
He just
mid
said
range for
Igris
vocals,
really he was
it's
expecting Fei
really good.
Wan.
Well, I'm looking at the price range though. We need to find out. He needs to answer what his price range is.
Had Annihilator before, didn't like the fit, but loved the sound. So they were a fan of Annie.
Yeah, I thought you might say Fei Wan. Well, yeah, Fei Wan's nice, but I don't always want to shill one of my favorites because then it sounds like I'm saying it over and over. Oh, Fei Wan, Fei Wan, Fei Wan, Fei Wan.
I mean, just for everybody's reference, there are so many times where Jonathan and I will just be talking, hanging out, and he's like, and then I put Fei Wan in, and it was over.
Yep. Still after a year, which is impressive for an
Yeah.
IM. All right, so we went from Unique Melody, then we went to King.
Yep.
So there have been a few misconceptions about Fulgrim.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna. I'll start it off with this. Last year or this year, geez, time's flown by. New York. I remember putting that in my ears, like, and it was glued together in the freaking Omega body. I guess it.
Yeah.
I think Bobby got it and it cracked. You glued it back together and it was ready for New York. Like he didn't even get it out of the box. He like pulled it and it was like. So I just remember going, "Oh my god, this is so close."
Mm.
But of course, it was a proto. So protos always are protos, right? They're not final.
Yeah.
So what happened between January and launch?
Okay. That's a very good question. So that basically was the hardest time I had last year. So Climate, Henry and I has a Discord like small group. So we were talking about how we should make improvements on the program. We collected lots of information during the KenJam NYC, and then most common feedback was like the treble was too hot. So we were trying to detect which parts is actually that like hot. The two Henry and I has very similar taste in music, and we think that treble is okay. But we did find something that's not very comfortable for a long session listening. Then we would just swap the entire like try different music, try different instruments, and
Not to cut you
play.
off. So everybody knows. I know what kind of music you listen to. What kind of music do you listen to? Shut up. You don't.
Okay.
You do not play. Okay, so we should have started this off by saying that Leo not only does what he does, but he's also a musician and he plays drums for a band.
Yeah.
So Leo is a drummer, but just so everybody knows, you and Henry listen to the same type of music. What do you guys listen to?
Metalcore.
Metalcore.
We listen to lots of metal, like progressive metal, metalcore.
Okay.
So
So
if you're in the Discord, you'll see them dropping and being excited over shows pretty regularly. And it's awesome to watch and see all the recommendations, honestly.
Now, Wayne brought up a really good question when we were chatting about what we were going to ask you, and I think it's pertinent here. So you listen to metalcore, but when you are tuning an IM, what else do you listen to?
Oh, that's like for imaging and soundstage. I listen to lots of progressive jazz.
Oh.
Like, for example, very good example for identify whether there is an issue with layering or not is go listen to the Go Penguin. Their 2014 release. I forgot the album name. It's a white background and with some black strips on the top, like Go Penguin. Uh, I listen to classical, of course, but classical, the hardest thing is you need to find the right records to find the good tracks. So I have made a playlist on Tidal and Spotify. Just I use them to do the tuning as a
Yeah.
reference. Yeah,
And you helped tune the Pentara, right? Or Pentara.
yeah. That Pantara basically it is from the very beginning, from the idea to the final product.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was just a question that was in the chat, and we'll come back to the other question about we got a price range of 5K for top 3 favorites, but what other things do you kind of like have on your playlist? You have you obviously you listen to metalcore, you have progressive jazz. What do you do for like mid range or bass?
Oh, Diana Crow for mid range, like for female vocal,
Mhm.
and I also just go online search for some specific vocal sets because I'm not very much into the vocal heavy music. I
But
understand. I respect that.
we
When we
brought
are
up
doing,
Billie Eilish. I know you use Billie
yeah, Billie
Eilish.
Eilish. That's very. I listen to her voice a lot when I was tuning. Yeah. Um.
Oh, I could tell. When
Yeah.
I remember the comment I said I made with King, I was like, "Man, you've been listening to Billie Eilish," and you were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "No shit," because it sounds so
Yeah.
good.
Just one thing that I think I currently don't have lots of things that is covered in my playlist is male vocal.
Mm.
There are many male vocal bands or singers that in my playlist.
That really
Yeah.
go deep on the notes and stuff like that, right? Like really need that extra warmth. It's
Right.
harder for more recent releases. You kind of had to go into like more of the like oldie classical rock kind of music and
Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, more than that. So you can go to they hate. Well, at least I know Daryl Hall hates it when people call him this. But Blue Eyed Soul, like Daryl Hall and John Oates. You can do Luther Vandross,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Brian McKnight.
All the
There are a lot of
R&B.
great male singers. Who what's the other blue eyed guy from Doobie Brothers? Michael McDonald.
Yes.
You want to go to rock? Well, there's a lot in rock, but like Journey, what's his name? Lead singer for Journey.
Oh god.
But you know, things like that, or a really good one. It depends on which Van Halen you like. I like them both. David Lee Roth is great, but specifically Dreams from their later albums with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
And then there's that one dude. I could go off on male. I'll send you some male vocals. I got a lot of male vocals.
Thank you. Yeah, I just not very much covered like for the male vocals.
I still think though they cover the IMs you've tuned do them very well. Okay, so back to Fulgrim. So we have you guys talking in the chat, discussing what to do with it.
Yeah,
Treble's
and
too
then
hot.
yeah, and then I found the frequency was actually at around 9K, like 9,000 frequency. That's the part making me a little bit itchy when I was listening to the music. It's too bright at that time. So then the job sent to Clement and Henry. And what Henry did, he basically restructured the inner structure. He recut all the tubes, and then he and Clement starting to working on those things, and then finally they didn't change anything, just very limited from 8,000 and 9,000 frequency range. They cut about 2 dB. Yeah, it's very hard to do actually. When you are fine tuning a range that is within 2,000 and doesn't affect the other frequency, that's almost impossible. That's I can directly tell you that's almost impossible. You do all the acoustic tuning, and they just made it, so it's very impressive.
Yeah, because it's like there's nothing out there that sounds like it.
Yeah,
like there's it because I think a lot of people are sleeping on it because they're not realizing how technically good it is. Like you can listen to Fulgrim with something like um, extraordinary bass, like Bad Guy or something like that. But then you can sit there and turn on Michael League, Bill Lawrence, piano music, classical, and it will run with the best of them.
Yeah, without the bass like intruding or inflating anything
No,
in the frequency
Yeah,
when you're listening to it.
that bass is perfect. It is simply perfect. Like
the
texture, speed, and everything.
texture, man, texture. That
Yeah.
texture, bro, is so good. All right, so moving on. Would you be able to address like the whole price controversy? Because a
What
lot of
was that?
people felt like Fulgrim was supposed to be 4,000,
Oh,
4,500.
so there is a long story because I know earlier, like I think it's in 2024, they released a price of like around 5,500 something like that, and then end up being a 6,900 IM. So in between, actually, there was a long story. Like at that time, the 2024 version program, the driver configuration, the crossover is entirely different from this one, from what we have right now.
So it's
So before
more
that was
now.
a lot more than what it was. So before that, I remember it should be one DD6BA 4 EST or 4 EST, definitely not 6 ESTs. It's something like that. Basically, a program with one or two more balance armature. That's
I mean,
it's Omega with one or two more balance armature, and the crossover is still 5-way crossover. Then it ends up like today's. It should be one DD 6BA 6 ESTs and 8 crossover.
8-way, yep.
So yeah, so that's actually they work on a lot. Like we together we work at least 4 versions the from 2024 to what we have right now. Just
wow.
like
Damn.
in that less than a year, it just continues working on that. So before that, the base was good. Like the first prototype actually arrived around the same time as APX SE prototype, not the final APX. The SE's prototype, they arrived at around the same time. And I remember it was Daniel and me, like Daniel in New York, another audiophile. We tried that 2 IMs on the same day. And on that time, I think program space was like basically on par with SE, maybe not as good as SE.
Yeah, when it
But the final version, we all know that bass is just. I know as the APX SE has lots of fans and its bass is awesome, but I don't think it's compete with programs in terms of bass.
well at
Bass
You know what's
quality.
even
Dallas.
you know what's even
Oh, go
crazier
ahead.
too? Last Friday night, I had a bass off. I never thought in a million years with a Piotr IM that I would be having a bass off with one of his IMs versus Fulgrim. And
Yeah.
like he's got that new driver, the vibrator, the vibrator
Mhm.
in the shell. And I thought SC had great bass. I think ME has even better bass, but it was one of the best listening experience I've ever had in my life, going back and forth between SC and Fulgrim, and just listening to my favorite bass songs, and just listening to
Mhm.
how they produce it beautifully.
Yeah.
And I still think Fulgrim pulls ahead a little bit, especially when it comes to treble and mids compared to SC. But it's kind of wild how like those two IEMs for me are the pinnacle right now of just dynamics, resolution, and then just the texture of bass. Like they
Yeah.
just bass.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's so
It's
many times at Dallas where everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a bass head," or "I love bass," and I was like, "Okay, first listen to the Alpha Omega and get a good bass line, and then Fulgrim, and then seeing everybody's like, oh, Alpha Omega is really nice," and then when they put on the Fulgrim, like seeing their like eyes widen and like seeing them vibing with the music and listening to Fulgrim
Mm-hmm.
was like one of the best experiences at Dallas.
yeah.
And
Also,
those damn
real quick,
stage tips.
on those Celtic broke stage tips that
Yep.
somebody stole a set of from us.
Did they really?
Don't you remember?
Oh yeah, because you had to go buy some.
I had to go buy some just to replenish it. Also, Steve Perry was the Journey lead singer.
Yes. Steve Perry.
Thank you for that with chat. And then real quick question. I don't know if you can address or not, Leo, and if you can't, we can just kind of move on quietly. But somebody asked, can Leo say anything about Annie 26, the sound quality?
Okay.
If
I
you
didn't
can't,
try it yet, but I only know it was not tuned by Lee. It was made by another or manufactured by another company. So I that's all I know.
that's all you know.
Yeah, I still waiting on the demo or the prototype or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, that's so far. That's only a few things I know.
All
Yeah.
right, so we've done King,
Fulgrim.
Fulgrim, Unique Melody. Am I leaving anything else out that you tuned before we get to Quill?
He's having to think about it. That's how much he's helped.
I know that's how much you've done. But all right. So how did you and John meet, and when did you guys decide? Let's work together and make some great freaking IMs.
Okay. So we are a very long time friends. So back in 2022, 23, about that age, I started my first band, and he was the guitarist.
Oh
Sweet.
wow,
So
you guys are way
yeah,
back.
he was a guitarist and the producer for our band, and then like that was a very very hard time for me because I was poor and my family doesn't support for what I was doing. They want I was
You were the
learning math.
bad boy.
What?
You were the bad boy, the black sheep.
Kind of like that. Like my father wanted me to study math, which I'm not interested at all.
Why aren't you a
And then
doctor?
I just like to play drums. That's everything I want to do. I want to be a rock star, and that's the whole thing.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, so my family doesn't support me buying drum kits, buying all the cymbals, and John was like my big brother, and he helped me with all my financial things and helped me buying me food, introduced me to different gigs to play, and then earn some money, and that's how we become very very close friends. Like he's just like a big brother that take care of all my life at that time.
That's awesome. And he's had like a crazy career in China, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has a very crazy career in China. So basically, he do the live tuning like for the concerts and all that. He do the sound structure like his major was actually based on acoustic. He's more toward the acoustic engineering on that end. That's his career, and he likes to do work on electronic things, but that's not his major. His major is in acoustics. So he do the design, the room, design the studio, designs the music hall, and that's his top job. Like what he's still doing that. He has a separate company, like just design all the things for those places.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, that's his. And then for Quill, it's basically like in 2023, I went back to China and we met each other. And he showed me some of the. He doesn't know me working at MusicTeck at that time. He
Really?
just showed me a few IEMs. Yeah, he doesn't know about that. So he still thought I was working at 3L Glass, like the glass manufacturer I used to work at. He just showed me some of the IEMs he tuned for his musician friends. He has lots of musician friends. He just doing that for free and give it to them. So he also has some affiliation with the driver, like the speakers manufacturers, driver manufacturers. So he can got lots of like the cheap free drivers he can use on those like single DD and give it to the musician friends. I listened to a few of them. Like one of them was like a single DD, no, one DD 2BA, and that sounds amazing. Like for what it costs, for the how simple it is.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Okay, he knows how to tune things. And then we have a common friends in the US, which is he's a producer in one of the New York studio. And then we got connected together, and he asked one IEM like for gaming, for mastering the gaming music from John. And then John designed the very first prototype for setting. like the green shell one that I showed on 2024 SoCal. Like it's a green shell IEM. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
if you guys still recall that one. Yeah, that's the very very first prototype of setting.
And then you had 2 prototypes at Dallas.
Yeah, actually,
Yep.
to Dallas that was already the 4th or 5th. Yeah, so he's a crazy guy. If he can come to the US one time, if you met him, you will know him. He's an extremely crazy guy. Like
In a
he
good way,
just
though.
cannot stop. He just keep making improvements. He have that OCD. Like
That's awesome.
Well, it sounds
So
like it's passionate for him. Like he's very
yeah,
passionate about it, which is
yeah.
great.
that's really great. So Quill is the company that you guys have together. What is the future of Quill? Because you already had Satin. Satin's done very, very well. How do you feel about Satin?
Setting is it's a very different IEM, I would say. So from
Explain.
the concept. Sorry, what?
Explain.
That one in my imagination, it should be IEM for bring me back to the old days. What means when I doesn't have money. When at the time I just met John, like I was trying to spend as less money as possible to make my current IEM sounds better. That
Before
was
you
like
go, before you go on, Leo, I've not to cut you off, but what a lot of people aren't going to realize until I think more of the product comes is that there are themes behind each Quill IM, right?
yeah.
So for Satin, you're explaining the theme behind it.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I just wanted to just throw that out there because for you, you're such a creative soul that it feels like each one of your IMs has its own soul.
Yeah.
And which is really kind of cool. So I just wanted people to realize that, yeah, like when he's going in and creating these, it might be a memory or it might be a relationship or it might be this or it might be that, but it's something.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry.
So the setting is like I want to try at that time. I try to making my current system sounds better. Like it has lots of fun when you try different ear tips, different cables, and different depths. Like to making your current system sounds good. Like that, I think that's the definition of audiophile. Like you're audiophile, you enjoy the time and the experience you are making your current system sounds better and better. Yeah.
So you wanted it to be kind of like a blank canvas, and through different types of amps, different types of DACs, different types of cables, you could kind of create whatever sound you want.
Yeah, that's the purpose of setting. So I still believe for the technical performance of setting and for the potential of setting, the price is pretty reasonable.
The price is ridiculous.
But if you want to build a very like a good system for setting, is definitely going to cost you some money. But the experience is very like I mean that's explain why audiophiles are audiophile, different from other hobbies. Because you need the experience to try different things, try different combinations to make the thing sound the best to yourself.
As simple as ear tip rolling has a vast difference on what you're hearing. Like, we were just bringing back to Fulgrim when we were having people listen to the Fulgrim at Dallas Can Jam. It was like, try it with these Elitech Baroque stage tips because it's just going to really be the right blend. Or
what's to go off on that too. Okay, so I remember New York playing God, and there was just this special feeling that Fulgrim gave me in Prototype that I was like, God, the separation on this stupid thing. Like, not only is the bass hitting like that, but the guitars are coming in almost Fugaku-like, in where it just dips in and comes out, dips in and comes out.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing, Wayne, is when I got it into review and everything, it was very close to that, but there was just something missing. And then Andrew comes up and he's like, okay, if anybody listens to Fulgrim, they have to hear stage tips. And I was like, well, shit, let me try it. So I put them on, and I was like, that's what was missing.
Yeah, that was a special sauce that you needed.
The special sauce from New York, from the original Prototype. And it was just crazy how just that little tip tweak, I guess we could call it, um cause like just that layering to come in naturally again, because I guess with the 8-way crossover, that's what makes Fulgrim special to me, because it just feels like sound comes out of nowhere and there's layers to it, and it's just that's what, in a sense, yes, the bass is special, the texture is special, but just the way it presents music is actually kind of special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick interjection. There was another question in the chat. I figured this is a good break, but any whispers of the new Aureolus drop? They haven't dropped anything forever, especially their cheaper sets. Have you heard
They
any
did,
things?
not to cut in, but I know he knows more than I do. But there were the two huge shows in mainland China and Japan this weekend, and
Mm-hmm.
someone did have a picture, and the price is kind of crazy. I think it's supposed to be
Yeah.
$9,000 to $10,000, but you
Yeah.
will have a Fugaku Traily essentially, where the amp is connected to it, and that's coming.
Yeah.
Bird.
That's basically it. That's the new REOS. Yeah. A DSP version of Triway.
Yep. And like you can mess with the bass, you can mess with the like you can tailor the Traily to what you want it to sound like.
Yeah.
For 10,000.
That's amazing. Well, the main thing with the Traily, we go on the water cooler head-fi thread all the time, and they're like, "Oh, let's do another what's the best thing you've heard, or what's your favorite IEM still?" And without fail, the bird is
Traily.
still there, near the top every single time, and it's been how many years now, and it's still there. Like,
Yep.
the staying power is amazing with the bird.
Yeah. Bird is the bird. It's a legendary in this industry.
Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the new release does. There was I don't know if she even do this question. What shampoo does Jonathan use?
Not a lot. Getting
Just
kind
a
of
drop
thin
or
up
two?
here. Not a lot. I usually have my head shaved, so I just usually use body wash.
There is one more question, and I think it's going to be a really good pivot because we're just talking about the satin, but somebody actually went ahead and got ahead of us and asked, "What's the story for the new Quill release? Are you able to talk about it at all?"
Before he says anything, I'm just going to say this. I feel like 2026 is going to be a big year for Quill. That's all I'm going to say.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Leo.
So for 2026, there will be 2 releases from Quill.
2.
Yeah, one is intro level. So which is going to be released in January or maybe just as soon as later this year. It's called Karma. So that's a collaboration with a band called P.H.0. So that also introduced a new product line of Quill Acoustic that's called Silk Wire. So that's basically a thing that's Quill wants to do a connection with different musicians, with different bands, and do the collaboration. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah. Because both John and I know each other well in a band. So we started the first band and then we know each other. And we know how difficult for an independent musician to work, to get more music, to create more music. It's a very, very, very hard time, to be an independent small musician. So we want to do as many sports as we can. For the product in that production line, John and I think about like we should do some like sponsorship to the independent musicians. So like every 20 or 50 sets that were sold, we're all going to sponsor one independent band.
That's amazing.
A full set. Like you now you can have your in-ear monitor to do your mastering, to do your online on the stage performance, whatever you would like to use with those.
Well, it's amazing because every single collab that really comes out nowadays is like collab with another reviewer or collab with different companies. So this is a real big way of giving back to the community, the musicians that are the most important thing, because without musicians, we don't have the music to listen to or enjoy.
Right. That's the thing.
That's amazing. So you're
So
thinking about later this year or early next year, right?
What?
You're thinking about it's going to be later this year or early next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually received the product maybe
Saturday,
tomorrow.
yesterday. Oh, you
Oh,
didn't
I
get it
didn't.
yesterday?
I didn't get it because of the weather delay. It's
Weather.
snowing here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. You guys got like 2 to 3 inches.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Okay. All right. So that's number 1 next year. What's number 2 next year? Well,
Number
end of the
2.
year next year.
Number 2 would be Heartless, like the flagship of Pro Acoustics.
So
That's going to be a massive IM. Because the prototype was shown during the Guangzhou Expo, like just happened yesterday,
Mhm.
and the feedback was pretty good. The many people thought that's a very good IM.
can you talk about the technology yet?
So it's a very interesting technology. So basically, that's a passive system and a active system. The active system is like what we hear normally, okay, from all of the different type of IEMs. And the passive one, John made a special nozzle, like a very mini nozzle on the close to the ear canal, and that's changed with 2 planar and several balance armatures. So that's passive system basically doesn't doesn't directly make sound to your ears. They are they are specially tuned for the soundstage and imaging. They're just making you have better soundstage. That's the purpose of the IEM.
What?
Yeah, like basically he's trying to make a 4.0 system in a 2.0 tool, 2.0 IEM.
So it's going to be like a nozzle in the ear canal, not or on the exterior, like so that you're getting more of that soundstage resonance or that like expansion of notes and stuff.
Yeah, kind of like that. And also he did a separate like a nested shell. So the active parts are inside of the shell is isolated, and then the outer part is a passive system with all the BCDs and all that.
Oh yeah, but hold on. How? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really how he made it.
How do you come up with something like that? Like, what was there anything in the past that was like made very similarly, or is this just one of these? John is crazy, came up with this while dreaming one night and was like, "I'm going to make this work." Like, how? Where did the idea derive from?
It's his original idea.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's just basically because it has been used in the acoustic design. Like if you are designing a room like a studio or a music hall, you have some of the parts are doing the directly reflection to the center. They don't make sound, but they make big impact to the sound. Right? Like the bass trap and all that. That's
so
a similar
it's
concept.
kind of like you can't just if you're in the 2-channel world, you can't just buy 2 speakers, place them in a room, and go, "Oh, it's going to sound great."
Right.
You have to make all these adjustments to that room to make it sound great.
Yeah, the room treating is very underrated as far as people's home theater systems because they're like, "Oh, why didn't it sound so good here?" Or "Why does my buddy's sound better?" And they don't do anything with treatment at all.
Yeah. Yep. That's the fundamental idea is kind of similar because they are just doing some of the cancellation of some certain frequency. That can be done by adding drivers and do some crazy work what he has done. Be a similar concept. But I really don't know how he did it. It's just it's very lengthy explanation that I cannot understand.
So where did the name Heartless come from, Leo?
I refuse to explain this. It's a shame. No, no, I won't.
Well,
no.
So Heartless, I'm just gonna re-say the name. That's gonna be the new flagship then, right?
Yeah.
And then that's going to be a little bit further down the line. The one that's coming out soon, I heard rumblings that it's going to really kind of hit a good price bracket, right?
Yeah, it's going to be $700 each, like around that.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it has one DD, 3BA, 2 planar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this because I can say it. He can't say this, but what's the one? Astrum better watch its butt.
That's the one I've been really hyped up.
Everybody has. Astrum's good, but Astrum better watch his butt. Just because I might or might not have heard, not the final tuning, but very close to the final tuning of it.
Really gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I also brought that up too is just because somebody's asked Leo to definitely drop a budget collab set. So I think with this new quill, that's going to be something that's a bit more accessible to certain people.
Right.
So, hey, the chat is also getting, hey, Leo, this is the best question for you. How can you be so heartless? Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll explain a little bit. Like, so I have made 2 IEMs because of that experience. Like the Pantera was IEM that I have been experiencing from last October to this July. Like this was kind of like a girl that I have been connected with, and that was not a very wonderful experience. And in that several months, I felt.
We're not laughing at you, Leo.
We're not laughing at you at all.
Okay, yeah, that's the whole thing. So the Pantera basically is his image in my mind, and I want to make it to a sound. That's kind of the last 2 variation of the prototype. The direction goes to, like, especially the arm tuning is what I was trying to do to do it that way.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and the Heartless is also related to
another
that
relationship. Just another relationship.
No, it's the.
So hold up. How many IMs is going to be? How many IMs are you going to have to do to get this all off you? Like, be gone, demons.
Will be the last one. I guarantee. The Heartless will be the last one.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah, it's. You know, it just at some point of time, you just know some type of person that you never met before, and they're just different. They first interest you, and then they hurt you. It's that experience.
Every single person's been through that.
Yeah.
It's like that shocker of, oh my God, this person is the greatest thing ever, and then they crush you harder than anything ever in your life. Right? And then they don't care. Then you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, but what happened? And they're like, that's the way it goes, sucker.
Somebody's chat wrote, damn, Leo's love story got me in my feels right now.
That's TJ. That's TJ. All right. So did we hit all of your greatest hits? Because I feel like, okay, here's a good question. So you're working at UM because you were working at the glass company and then you went to UM, or you did UM and went to the glass company?
I first UM and then go to the glass company.
Then how did you meet Andrew?
Oh, that's also very interesting because I was shopping for a headphone amp, like a full-size headphone amp, and then the Kane HA300 interests me. So he's the only one who's selling that amplifier in the US. So I just called him. And then,
shut up. That's how you met Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you go from meeting Andrew to working for MusicTeck?
Just becoming a returning customer. I started to buy things from him, and I'm a poor student, so he asked me, but I started doing review at that time. not for MusicTeck or the MusicTeck or the company MusicTeck carried. And then he saw me doing the reviews. He asked me if I want to do a review, and then I said okay. And then I started doing the review, and then yeah, and then I worked for and then I need to do the exhibition with Andrew. So we starting to knowing each other, and yeah, and when he when he asked me for like if I want to work at MusicTech, I said why not, and then I come here because I you're doing something that is closely related to your hobby. That's the best thing I can imagine.
It makes work way more fun. It makes it not
Yeah.
feel like
Bobby, shut up. I just Luda Bob. I just realized it's Bobby. And then he said, "Oh God, you just butchered that song." And then he goes, "Is the girl's name Derek?" Really, Bobby?
Yeah, it's Derek. I'm sorry.
Freaking Bobby. Oh,
And-
now you made me forget what I was going to ask. That might be age, though.
Well, for anybody that's tuning in that's not familiar, Andrew that we're talking about is the owner of MusicTeck. So if you've ever gone to musictech.com or emailed or corresponded, that's most likely going to be Andrew or Leo, the right hand man there that you're going to be talking to. And Andrew is one of the nicest people I've ever met.
And I would like to publicly, and you have to either show this to him or I already sent him an email. You guys are such sweethearts for sending that gift for the baby. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
You're going to have to post that on. You're going to have to definitely share it.
No, I am. Like she's actually, it's kind of funny. The three of them are downstairs putting it together now.
Is it mostly just Anastasia that's putting it together and everybody's just watching?
Pretty much. Yep. So I'll send pictures. All right. So what's it like being on that side of the business? Because you were tuning, you did some reviews, and now you're selling in a sense, but also tuning. What's it like being like, how does it shift your perspective on how you see the industry, or has it enhanced it? What has it done for you?
I think the best part of Andrew is he doesn't want to turn me fully into a salesperson.
Nice.
That's his I mean the best thing a boss can do. Like he knows that I have the passion and the have been in the hobby for a long while, and I also have my own gears still. So he just saying you just don't be too pressured. Like you have to sell certain amount of things to get your commission or things like that. You just tell the honest feeling and to the customer, and yeah, because you are experienced. You know what you like, what type of music you like, and you understand what type of music they like, and then you make your recommendation. That's it. If they decided to buy, then we have the business. If not, then no. That's the best thing I think a boss can do, right? Like
Yeah.
he give you the freedom to do what you like and still just he's just a nice person and very 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 nice boss. He didn't force me to buy to sell anything. If like something we don't like, I don't like, and I send to Johnson or I send to whoever, and he doesn't like then we just buy less. We just have less inventory. That's simple.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have to force ourselves to sell something we don't like and people, and all the audiophiles don't like. So we just only stop the things that everybody likes. Kind of like that. And there are something I really like, but people don't like. We will just sacrifice some like margin on that. We just selling them at discount. Yeah, that's making all our life easier.
Okay, so all right, hold on. I got it. Let me do these two, Wayne. Okay,
right, you got it.
I hate Bobby. So you weren't at Dallas, but
you were missed, by the way.
Yes, you were greatly missed. You know how Andrew usually gets a Subway and pizza, right?
Yeah.
On Sunday, he got Popeyes.
Popeyes chicken sandwiches.
Popeye's chicken sandwich. My God, it was the best chicken sandwich ever. So Bobby wants to know whose idea was it to get Popeyes at Dallas? But I think he's being racist because I think he was like, did Jonathan ask Andrew to get Popeyes?
To get some fried chicken.
Yeah.
You
racist.
guys are so lucky. But Saturday was still Subway, right?
Still Subway.
Yeah, it was Subway.
Well, I thought Popeyes replaced Subway. Subway was no good.
Yeah, Popeyes was amazing. Also,
Yeah.
TJ wants to know, what is your personal go to bed set? So when you're chilling late at night, what do you listen to?
Oh, I listen to speakers. No, I'm kidding. I used to have a very, very old IM called E5C from Shure. Yeah, that's what I use for sleep because I don't worry break it. And then nowadays I don't really listen to music before when I go to bed or something like that. If I listen to some IM for chill, it will be like Jewel, things like that.
Yeah, the Jewel.
Yeah, that's very comforting sound. I like.
Just something smooth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but when I was in Iraq, I used to use Coldplay to go to sleep. And you know what? The perfect analogy is the Jewel is the Coldplay of IMs because it puts me to sleep. Just kidding. I love Faye Wan. Sorry, Aroma. I just had to make that joke.
Trying to get the cookies back.
All right. So I think we've covered pretty much everything. So now we're going to ask you the hard questions, Leo. So 2025 has been a very fast, very quick, very huge year for I feel like a lot of new product, right? So what new products have you seen this year that had you go, okay?
Okay. So the top one will be Foreground, for sure. That's my absolute favorite. I think next year this time it will still be Foreground. Very, very much likely. Yeah, that's my favorite. And second is Pantera. And
Pantera's getting a lot of talk.
Yeah, thanks to everyone. Yeah, it's a very emotional IM, and yeah,
it's hitting people in the feels deep.
Yeah, yeah, and the third one I would probably, if on the more budget side, I would probably go with the Igris. Because that's a really, really impressive one for the price. Like, I mean,
stupid bass. Bass.
In my opinion, like we need more of that kind of IM to the market. Like something that sounds good, sounds beautiful, but still reasonably priced. And similar things like the Enzo.
Yes.
Enzo,
yeah, that's has very high value. And
Serenity.
Yeah, Serenity, definitely.
Jomo Audio.
Yeah, Jomo Audio. And then it's called Astrom, the BGBP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one is also a good one, like for those.
Shut up, wait. Okay, hold up. What is it you and Astrom, Wayne?
I don't know. I think it's just like a perfect vibe of like a good blend of good bass, good mid-range that's not too dry sounding, and just good enough treble that's not too sparkly, not fatiguing at all. And also that unboxing experience is just ridiculous. It's hard not to go like, that's ridiculous for how much you're getting for.
He is so in love with Astrom. Like, so you weren't in Dallas, but literally, like we were kind of busy, but not really busy, but kind of busy and not really busy. But every time Wayne would zap back into my mind, I'd hear him talking. It was either, have you tried Fulgrim yet? Oh, Astrum. You really have to try Astrum. How about Fulgrim? Fulgrim might be up here. Oh, Astrum. Yes, Astrum. And it was just back and forth the whole freaking time, bro.
I will say I also went down the line a lot to Etoile and had people listen to that as well, and Quill, like some people that really like more that neutral reference. Like I went down the line, but Astrum was the one that I definitely was.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What about the okay? We had a funny. Leo and I have a lot of funny things that happened, but like it was. I think it was last Sunday, and I messaged him and I was like, "Yo, man." Oh no, you messaged me and you were like, "I got something and it sounds very good, the Mega 7." And I'm like, "Wait, when did you get the Mega 7?" And you were like, "Sunday." And I was like, "I got the Mega 7 Sunday." Because I was gonna message you and say, "Hey, I got something I really like."
Yeah, Mega 7 is also oh my god, that's a good one. That's a really good one for the price.
I'm not going to give away my review because my review should be coming in the next couple of days, but it is the first under $1,000 IM that for me, I don't feel like I lose anything comparing it to my Fei Wands, my this, my that, things that are in the $1,000 range. Like I can listen to it and I don't feel like I'm missing much.
Yeah, that's the
It's Mega 7.
Yeah, Mega 7.
Like it's so well tuned and very much like the Igris, the bass. Would you agree with that, Leo? Like the bass of the Mega 7 is like on
Yeah,
another level.
the bass and mids both are very very good.
Yeah.
Like the mids, like they have a very forward mids, but it doesn't feel like too
Intimate.
too tight. Yeah, too intimate. Yeah, that's that's what I really like.
Yeah. So there was one comment somebody wrote that I was in Iraq in 2007, 2008, and I was listening to a ton of Coldplay at the time. So you're not the only person there, John.
Yes. I don't know what it is with Coldplay. Everything else I tried to sleep with didn't work. But I put Coldplay on and like even sometimes right when he hit the first note, I was
Coldplay sleeper is what we'd call it. Coldplay
Yep.
sleep. There's somebody asked about the Pantara mode. Which mode do you prefer, Leo?
Uh, uh,
On the Pantara?
yeah.
Was there a
The
mode you prefer?
what?
Was there a mode you prefer? Because there's a
Yeah.
switch on there, right?
His
Yeah,
mode.
the on mode.
On
on
mode
mode,
is
yeah.
Leo
On
mode,
mode.
correct?
On mode is Leo
Yeah.
mode.
Actually, both are kind of tuned by me. I just feel like the first one is more close to the UM's house signature.
Right.
Yeah. So like the whole tuning story of that one was like initially they sent I told my idea to UM. They sent me a first prototype, and that one sounds awful. So I said that's not good. And then they made another one. That's pretty much the one mode.
Okay.
I told them like some to make some changes. I sent them my target curves based on the very first prototype, and then that's what the one mode. And then we made another change to trying to tune the on mode. And then the third prototype was a garbage, so I basically didn't show that one to anyone. And then was the fourth prototype, and that's the on tuning. So we
That's the on.
combined the second and the fourth together to the current Pantera.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt again. There's another question. This is going back to the top 3 under 5,000 sets. We never had a chance to swing back around and answer that. But the question is, if I wanted a vocal type set with a lot of treble energy, would you still recommend the Igris or Fei Wan or something else with a lot of treble energy and vocals?
Under $5,000?
Under 5,000.
Yeah, that's Fei One. That's no other choice.
That's a Fei Wan.
Yeah, because the Fei Wan's going to give you that treble energy. Oh,
Yeah.
I beautiful Derek sent me his Beyond cable, and I put that on Fei One. And like I've tried 4 wire, blue hour. Some people like first time shielding. And I can't wait for you to hear this, Leo. In fact, I might send this to you. But Fei One with Beyond, I don't know what Beyond is doing. That's the effect audio. I think they only made 100 of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's doing to the bass. But it's just elevated it to a sense where it's elevated, but it's kind of not overpowering. And then it's brought everything in, not soundstage wise, but everything so perfectly blended now. Like it's the most incredible cable I've heard with Fei Wan. And so that's what I guess my point when they were asking what's the treble, because what makes Fei Wan special is that yes, it is a brighter type IAM, but it's also a very warm tune IAM, which makes it very unique in its presentation.
Yeah.
With amazing bass texture.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how you've got very two different tunings merged together in the IM, and it kind of blends perfectly, and that's the superpower of Fei Wan.
Yeah, that makes sense. There was another question. I figured this is a good one since we were just talking about the Mega 7 earlier. Would you prefer the Zen's Top Pro or the Mega 7?
7.
7? Hands down?
Yeah, Pro's good. Pro is a baby Monarch MK4. Remember when we graphed it?
Yep.
Like they graph almost identical. So if you want that type of sound, but I would say that the Mega 7 has better everything. Especially bass. The Top Pro's got good bass, but Mega 7, when it comes to dynamics, texture, all that kind of stuff you want with bass, the mids are clean. Like Leo, how do they on the Mega 7? What I find unique is that it should be a warm IM, but it's not. With the way the bass hits on it, you would think it's a warm IM, but somehow they made it where the bass is completely separate from the mids, and you've got these clean mids that are very revealing. Then you've got this sparkly treble, and it's just like the bass is there, but it's not coming in at all.
I don't know. I haven't graphed it or anything like that, so I don't know the reason why it is.
But
Maybe
it's a pretty
the way
wicked trick, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it has related to their crossover. That's definitely where they cut the bass, by especially the bass by the DD, down by the DD. I think that's one of the trick they probably play. Maybe the DD bass only take a very small portion of the entire bass, and they can have that type of bass.
But it's crazy. It's also such quality bass where I feel with the Mega 7, you feel it in your body, but it's not hitting that hard.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like it's just you feel it. But Don X kind of did that in a sense. Once you got the right tips on Don X, it wasn't like it's a bass head IM, but you always had the feeling of the bass, not so much the hit.
That's usually they have more sub bass than the mid bass that will give you that feel.
Yeah. It's more like a shelved a little bit just to make it a cleaner, to reduce the quote unquote bloat or lead.
Yeah, there's no bloat on 7, but man, can it hit. Like it's almost close to bass head levels in a sense, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives you that feeling that it might be.
Yeah, well, they had the Mega 5 with the bass tuning that they released like months after the original Mega 5 came out.
I want to hear the Mega 5 now.
We should have that one. We should have that one soon.
Great.
Oh yeah, that's a cool announcement that you guys. Oh shoot! You know what, guys? Keep going. I gotta get the plug for my laptop.
It is about to die.
Yep, I'm at 6%. Old man issues. I'll be right back.
We do it live, people. We do everything live. So, Leo, what other things have you really been excited for? Or what other things have you really enjoyed this year that kind of caught you by surprise? We have the Mega 7 right now. We had just talked about. Is there anything else that you kind of really caught you by surprise?
Uh, surprise. Yeah, there's another surprise. Like the Jet Black doesn't sell. That's very much to my surprise. I thought it will be a good one, but it actually doesn't sell very well. I mean, it has very nice shell, and the sound is pretty. The technical
It's
performance
good.
is
It's a very
great.
good
Yeah,
sounding IEM. Yeah.
yeah. So I thought that one should actually sell a lot more, but then no. It's just the 2025 was too competitive, I think.
I agree. There was a lot of just really nice releases, and
Yeah,
it felt almost to the point where it was getting kind of saturated a little bit in that
right.
like $1,000 to $3,000 range, where just so many releases were coming in that point that were just it was just so much, so many new
Mhm.
things like right after each other, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like every price range, there will be like a lot of good IEMs. It's just too competitive.
Very
Let's say like for example, like Astro, it was released at the same RSV Mark II, right?
Yep, the soft ears.
And those two are both are very nice. Like if they are not released at around the same time, I think both will sell more than what they did now.
Yeah, well, they kind of cannibalize on the sales of each other, right? Like the Astrum,
Right,
they don't necessarily graph exactly the same, but they're very close to each other.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's
and
like, do you want this warm IEM or do you want this warm IEM? Like, which one would you prefer?
right. So it's just this year was too competitive. And to Mast, I think the sorry, to Jet Black, the biggest competitor would be the Solomon, which is also another surprise to me. Like they are offering that many accessories and very nice packaging, like all the BGVPs, and still the
I,
price is very reasonable.
I am not going to even talk about our conversation about the Solomon. Okay, so there were pictures from one of the shows, or maybe both of the shows, since we're talking about BGVP,
Hmm.
Wukong.
Yeah, it's coming to us too. They will send out the demo tomorrow to us. So about a week or something, we will get the demo.
I'm excited. It looks so obviously some people on Reddit posted it and were like, "Oh, it looks so gaudy," but it's like I'm excited. It looks breathtaking. It looks eye catching. It's very nice looking.
Yeah,
That thing looks
I
sexy
think
as hell.
one side of the IM looks really good, but the other side looks is too overcomplicated. Like the side that has the Wukong's figure, that
Yeah,
one's just a little bit too much. Yeah,
That Wukong looks gorgeous.
I
It's
think it looks
yeah,
metal.
great.
yeah.
The whole it kind of reminds me of it's like sometimes attention to detail can be a beautiful thing, especially like noble IMs. And then the Pendragon that has the dragon scale,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then you've got the Wukong with it looks like ancient writing,
Yeah,
and that just looks brilliant to me. I like themed IMs.
yeah. That's a very good one. It's a limited edition in China. I don't know if they are going to limit it that worldwide.
Ooh. Speaking of limited editions, since you're in the industry, how do you feel about limited editions?
It's apparently a strategy, a marketing strategy, right? Because
Bingo.
yeah,
Mhm.
and and in the real case, also some of the IM you have to make them limited because some of the material you cannot just mass produce, so you only have that very limited uh material to build that. Like for example, let's say A100, they don't have enough the chassis to make more, so it's going to be discontinued. Though it's not a limited edition, but it's very limited.
Oh
So
wow.
so yeah. So for that concern, some IM you better say that we can only make that many uh products. So then it will be a limited edition.
Yeah, that way also avoids any like potential backlog
Right.
or not being able to focus. Like that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that's are two of the major reasons why there are so many limited editions.
Yeah, because you wouldn't even think that there would be a shortage of said materials, but I'm sure that's a big thing, especially if um it might look if you're a smaller company, it might be cost prohibitive to make any more.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that go into it. It kind of annoys me though. Like I don't know. I feel like they're some of the best IEMs are limiteds. Like
Yeah.
let's be honest. Like some of the best IEMs that have ever been made, they only made so many of them.
So many of them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Amber Pearl's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Asteria is a good one.
How many
Yeah.
total areas are there? Like
77.
77? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So like, and then when Fulgrim's gone, that sucks because it's like. So I just feel like the unfortunate thing, like if there were some limiteds that sucked, no one would care about limiteds. But APXE, a
Yeah.
lot of people like SE. It was 100 of them. And
Yeah.
now Asahi, mixed feelings about Asahi from a lot of people, but I just heard that Asahi is almost fully sold out.
Yeah. Almost.
That's wild.
Yeah.
200.
200.
188.
188. Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild when you think about that. That's a what, $8,300 IM?
Yeah.
And where did most of those sales come from? From mainland China?
China. Yeah. China, Hong Kong.
That's crazy. So like that's another thing I'd like to get into because Americans always think, and for many reasons it's justified, that we lead the market on this, that, and the other, but we are nothing compared to the Asian market when it comes to IMs. Like we're just like this much, right?
It's because here it doesn't have that many demand in the
Right.
IM.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like
But
in the use case, many people like the speakers. No one compared to the US. No
Right.
other single country. Maybe the whole Asia is not as many as the United States. One country is consumption on speakers, on the full size speakers, right?
Okay.
So that's yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
like
you can go to like,
in Asia, you need to communicate. Like the communication, the traffic is public traffic. There are lots of public traffic. You have to use the DAP and IM to enjoy music. Yeah, in
yeah.
China, Japan, most of the area.
Well, a
So
lot of Americans will,
we're just a small market when it comes to IEMs compared to the rest of Asia.
Right.
well,
That's
because
pretty cool.
Americans, we have, homes will have like speaker channels, home theater systems, 7.2 pushing
Well,
Dolby Atmos
we have
with like,
space.
yeah,
Yeah.
Number one, because like if you've been to an Asian country, you realize that space is very expensive. A lot of space,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You come
Yeah.
here and space is less expensive, but the income level is more. But it's not even that because if you go to a lot of Asian countries, there's not a lot of space. They're
Mhm.
smaller in footstep compared to how big the United States is. So space is very much a luxury.
yeah.
Japan,
Yeah.
like, you know,
And there's also a little bit more consideration in Asian countries too. Like they don't want to have like open back headphones or
right.
they don't want to have speakers going that everybody can hear. Everybody just wants
Yeah.
to kind of keep to themselves, enjoy their space, enjoy their music, enjoy what they want to listen to without, necessarily like infringing on anybody else's.
Yeah.
Man, I was about to say no kidding. Captain,
Like
I have to mess with these.
Fair.
No, but yeah, I get. It's just, it just cracks me up. Lots of times I'll see on threads and like, well, we just need to say something. We need to do something. I'm like, that's not going to do anything because we're not the sales. We're not most of the sales. We're just a little bit of the sales. So you can say and do whatever you want to, and even if you don't like a product or the price or this or that, there's going to be some people across the ocean that are going to be like, boom, we're buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel uncommon at all. It just feels like, and it's not like we're saying the American market's not important. I think it's still integral. And,
Mm-hmm.
with certain releases, some companies that were bigger over on the Asia side or South Asia side, they
Yep.
want to break into the US market or they want to break into the Western market. I mean, we
Yep.
saw that with a few releases this past year, but it's like it's an additional additive to your name, that extra exposure. But it's not necessarily the focal point because you're still going to want to cater to whatever has been your biggest seller, which
Mm-hmm.
usually is in more Asian markets.
Yeah, like, and it's funny too because like you'll see people sit there and go, oh, it didn't sell here, and like I know a few IEMs that people that might have had a rocky start in the United States, but man, they sold like 2,000 of them over in Asia. It's like they did just fine. Like that IEM wasn't a bomb. You just have to be Mr. Worldwide. You can't be Mr. Closed Minded, right?
Yeah.
All right, Wayne. What was your top for 2025? What were your top picks?
Top picks.
Because what did you do this year? You did SoCal and you did Dallas. Your first
SoCal.
time doing 2 shows in a year.
I know, right? It was very nice. Actually, what's funny is Dallas I didn't listen to much, but I still got to enjoy everybody's company and actually played around with a few sources that were really good. Honestly,
Is that what you're gonna call Bobby?
yeah,
A source?
he's asleep right now. I think one of my favorite things I listened to, which was a release that happened earlier this year, late last year, Duality is just always going to be running in my mind. Nightjar Duality, but the other part to that is the Draupnir headphone, the open back bassy headphone from SoCal Can Jam, which is basically Duality as a headphone. I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, Leo. It was over at SoCal, but it is like,
Did you hear it, Leo?
No, I didn't. I only tried Durality. I didn't try the headphone.
yeah. The headphone is Viking Weave or Viking audio cables,
Yeah.
and it is so really normal tuning for it is just really good bass, really good coherency with the mid range and the treble. But there's an impedance adapter switch on the inside, so when you lift the pad out, you flip it, and then it's like it goes from 7 ohms to like 74, and you got to like really crank the power. But when it's like that, it's like your head is shaking. It feels like you just put like a bunch of like subwoofers right in your ears and it's like shaking your head. It was just so fun. So it's really dumb fun, honestly. That
And
was
you
like
pre-ordered it, right?
I did. I did.
Do you know when you're going to be getting it in?
So he had an update he was talking about. I messaged him not too long ago and he was saying like they're still getting parts in. There's a slight delay. So Target is still early next year, and I think he's targeting I don't want to say a specific time frame, but somewhere January, February, March, that time frame, I think quarter 1. But he's releasing he's trying to be really on top of like just keeping updates and everything like that.
That sounds like that. You know what? I'm not going to name names, but it would be nice if someone else who's delayed on a product and certain products would at least let people know instead of saying, "Oh, next week."
Yeah.
So it's nice that he's keeping people up. What else?
Oh my gosh. Well, Fulgrim, of course. I heard that at SoCal, and that was amazing. Not just tooting somebody's horn there in the center, but Fulgrim was very good. Something from Dallas that I think more people are going to be seeing more of is the Audma Brioso.
Oh
That
yeah.
little DAC amp is ridiculous.
I want to talk about Brioso. I'm upset with Brioso. They're selling so well they can't even keep up with parts.
And there's a reason for that, just because of how good that little like freaking device is.
Let's explain to people. All right, so this is my cell phone. This is my cell phone, right? So the Audma is like a little bit longer than my cell phone, right? So this finger up here, it's about that long. What's crazy is it's probably like this much thicker. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
turn it like that, right? and it can drive Susvara, Storm. Um, what's the crazy one? That's even harder to drive than Susvara.
Tungsten.
Oh, I can't. Yeah,
Oh,
Tungsten.
okay.
It can
Oh,
drive that on a battery, and on high driving mode like that, it'll last probably about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? And it's that
that's
small.
yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
I need to try that.
we were driving your Storm at so there's like two different gain settings, and we did just one extra gain setting up, so it was like extra 8 dB, and it goes up to 16, and it was driving Storm at like 30 to 40% with like extra headroom.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy how good that thing is, and it sounds phenomenal. You can kind of change a little bit like the mid-range presence and the treble, and there's also a bass boost, which is really nice because obviously a bass head here, but it's it's a really awesome device.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that. I don't know how they did that, especially at the size, the weight. It's incredible that they were able to make something that small. Like it's one of those products that okay, so you've got the EA4, which is kind of a chunker. I love my EA4, but the Luxury and Precision EA4 is a big ass
Yeah.
box.
It's a
And
brick.
then you've got now the Watasumi that is like half the size. And then now you've got the Odmo, which is even smaller. And it's like that's almost like a revolutionary device because not only is it that small and you can do it on a battery or you can plug it in and it'll bypass the battery,
Mhm.
but then you can also not only drive your IMs and there's no IM it can't drive, there's also no speaker it can't drive. I mean, not speaker, but headphone.
Headphones, yeah.
Like people that don't have, what was it, Hiker, who's never liked Susvara, liked it off that, and he's heard Susvara off the Riviera. He's heard Susvara off 465, like all the $20,000 amps he didn't like, but he liked it off the Odma.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy device. And again, like when people were like, "Oh, this little small device, it does like desktop performance, or it can compete with desktops." Like this is a desktop device that just happens to be that small and compact. Like it can
Yeah,
Yeah.
replace systems completely, easy.
that's like, and that's why I say it's like revolutionary.
Yeah,
Something that small that can do that, be that powerful, and sound relatively well. I mean, relatively good in comparison versus desktop stuff.
yeah.
Man, what else?
Oh gosh, Aries is flip ears. Orion, his new flagship. That's however long away. That was really really fun to listen to. It was a good step up from the Legion.
Oh, I didn't try that one. Yeah.
Oh, you never had a chance to
I'm
try that one?
I'm very curious about the IM, but never got a chance to try it.
Man, okay, so um, I got to help you out a little bit, Wayne, because I can't believe you didn't bring up one. Um, father, son.
I was waiting to do that one.
No, not the new one. The
Not the
first
new
one.
one.
The first one.
The Parlez-vous français one.
Yes. Etoile.
Etoile. I did love the Etoile. I know it's one of those. How do you spell that product name? Which one? Etoile, Etoile. Yeah, it's a really fun, different take on neutral, and I feel like not to disparage people that use a lot of graphs and stuff like that, but the Etoile graphs differently with that upper mid range like bump
Right.
really brings the vocals forward that is not common for a lot of tuning, and I think it's what makes it special. The bass is really good. I feel like it doesn't interfere with the mid range at all, and it's a very special set for like recording, singer songwriter acoustics. The treble is just very pleasant. It has very good resolving capabilities, and I think the Etoile really does kind of shine with like a lot of the other neutral type of tuning sets, but doing something different because everybody's like, oh, I want to keep it to like Harman, or I want to like follow somebody else's like preference graph. And it's like, this is like tuned from Michael Graves, who's a Emmy award winner, and he knows what
No,
he's listening for.
Grammy.
Grammy. Oh, sorry, my bad. Grammy.
Lifetime.
Five-time Grammy winner, and there's a reason why. Like it's just so special of a set.
Right.
He's a preservationist. So all those old records that might be broken down a little bit or badly recorded and things like that, he needed a tool to allow him to hear everything in a sense that he needs to fix, and then once it's fixed, if it sounds correct. And he uses near field speakers in the studio, but he also wanted a tool that he could have for his in-ear, and that's what Etoile is. And then it's kind of cool because Jack handed me the I think it was in 2024 SoCal, the original prototype for it. And what was cool to see was like you hear his interpretation of what he wanted to sound, and then once you hear the final version, you see what Michael needed to hear what he needed to hear. But it was like a perfect blend of two people coming together to make an IM. So yeah, Etoile is like unlike anything. It's kind of unique too because I feel it's very much like Satin, because Satin in a sense too was like one of the really first IMs that you can basically tailor it to exactly how you want it to sound by changing out cables, amps, DACs, and it's very unique in that sense. And I think like those two were very unique IMs that were introduced this year because they both sound incredibly different because Satin can boom boom and shake your butt, but they both offer. I think what's cool about what's happening in IMs now is that people are willing to take a chance.
Yes.
I think that's the best part of 2025. We're hearing a lot of people, Leo, Jack, heck, I even think Dean's tuning of
Odin.
Odin 2
Odin.
was unique.
Yeah.
Because you expected it to be the original Odin, and he's like, no, I kind of like what I did with Raven. I just want to fine tune it in a sense. Because he was working on big stages then. Odin has a big stage, and then Odin 2 is just like, hold my beer, but it's still very coherent.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't even know if I would say that I think the best thing about 2025 is like people are now not afraid to try something new.
Yeah, I agree.
Like there's some great products, but I think the great products that stick out are the ones that, like, if Fulgrim, you could say the same thing about it because like no one's ever really tackled and done well a sophisticated bass head level IM. An IM that can tickle your butt when it hits, but then in the next second you could put classical on it and it sounds just as good as the rest of the rest of the IMs. Or Piotr, bright, OG, fry your brain. Then we've got SC, tuned down a little bit, still a little bit bright, but okay. And then he drops like an almost bass head, warm analog IM, which no one expected from him. And then we just get this more uniqueness.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to you and John and everybody else out there who's like not afraid to do something different. And I think that's what 2025 was, like the year of different. Let's, screw, because look, there are like 1 million IMs coming out every 2 seconds.
Another Kiwi Ears, another Zigot, another.
Like, my God. So you can be like everybody else and just keep mass producing the same, like you said, Harman and, all these baseline sounds. Or if you want to stick out, grow some balls and do something completely original.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. High horse.
No, somebody else said it right then. Chat. I hate neutral tunings with no character. I want divisive and unique stuff.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
has to be. There's just too much stuff that's the same. Like stuff has to be different. Like, how do you feel about that, Leo? Being on that side of the game, like I feel okay. So I'm not gonna burst Karma's bubble, but Karma is very uniquely tuned.
yeah, it is. It's very, very unique.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
everybody that's tuning in,
I,
Karma is the upcoming quill that's going to be dropping.
it's like all the things I tuned, like probably King and Pantera are the closest one to the mainstream, but they still not that mainstream. You know,
yeah,
I don't like mainstream IEM as an audiophile and as a developer. It's just feel it's like, you know, everybody is going to have the same similar sound but with different shells. That doesn't make sense to me. You're not buying a shell. If you want to buy something beautiful, buy a jewelry. That's probably considering nowadays TOTL IEMs that the jewelry probably will be cheaper than the IEM. You are paying
right.
for the sound. You're paying for the whole thing. It's design is one part of it, and most important thing is the sound. Then there's no reason to have a mainstream tuning in this world, but there is for lots of the entry level IEM, they prefer to tune to be a mainstream, like the Harman curve or whatever target curve. It's just safer for them to get some sales. This is
Yeah.
Yeah.
business, yeah. But for the more expensive, the more money you invest in the hobby, you are for the uniqueness, not for simply a better sound or better technical performance,
And
right?
yeah,
That's my
like
idea.
if you're gonna put some money into it, you want something that's special.
Yeah.
Yep. And maybe that's where like people need to take what y'all are doing and Odmo with making this crazy crackhead amplifier, BGVP, because I even said in the review that like when it comes to Astrum, the most important thing I feel, and I think a lot of people miss, is buying a product and feeling like I'm not an idiot for spending the amount of money that I spent on this product. And when it comes to something like that, or like satin, like, oh crap, like this is just the beginning because I can make it sound, I can put this wire on, it's gonna sound this way, but if I want to listen to this music, I can put this wire in. Like the most important thing is for people to sit there and go, my money was well spent on this product. And if you're just churning out all this normal stuff, that's why people keep chasing.
Yep. And if everybody's library looked like exactly the same, it was just,
Man,
one IM, that one tuning Harman style reference, and they have like five different IMs of the same one. It's like there's no variety. Variety
Right.
really is important because sometimes you may not feel like listening to that. Sometimes you want to just put on something smooth, something classical, and sometimes you want to put on like some aggressive EDM or some hip hop or something like that, or have something with more vocals. It's having a variety is great. Why
Yeah.
why is that a bad thing at all? You don't have to, and it goes with like EQing too. Like I understand why people love to EQ, but personally, I like to be able to hear what the person that made this IEM wanted me to hear. And if it resonates with me, fantastic. If it doesn't, then I can go to another one.
what people are forgetting too is like tuning is an art form, painting is an art form, music is an art form, but tuning and IAM, we're already seeing in this industry that there are certain tuners that are considered artists and people follow their tuning. Yourself, Lee, Piotr, who like there are certain rock star in a sense tuners that are artists because like you just know their tuning and you love their tuning. And that's
Yep.
very important. So yeah, you can't EQ into an IM someone's style.
Yeah.
And that's what it's mainly about. That's what makes like IM so fun because you've got like personalities in your IM. Like it's just awesome, and that's something that I think people don't notice more. But there are true artists that are tuning these IMs.
And that what also makes Leo impressive is that when he's tuning in collaborations Like he wants to keep the basis of the house sound, which is very
Respectful.
respectful. Absolutely. I think I'm not just tooting your horn, Leo. I'm not just doing this to toot your horn, but I just think like that's an example of the artistry there, because you're not just going, oh, I think you just need to do this. Like you understand the house sound, you want to capture it, but add your own twist to it and really give it the flavor that is what's special to you.
And do it
Yeah,
without ego. This man has no ego.
No ego at all.
yeah. I mean, I the company we work with, like they are very they have their own fan base. Like they have lots of people love their sound. Why would I mess up with that? Like I think it's very important to respect the people you work with, and then because it's a collaboration. It's not my own thing. They have the yeah. If
But we're
one day
glad.
I'm going to start my own brand, then I do whatever I want. But collaboration is different.
Leo
All
Bud
right.
Ben.
Rockstar, I know it is. What is it? 10:56, and you've got work tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We've been wanting to do this stream for a very, very, very long time.
All right. Thank you guys for having me here. Thank you. Thank
Thank you so much, Leo. We
Okay.
appreciate you forever.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good one. We'll do this soon again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, somebody had asked the amp, how do you spell it? The Audma Brioso, if you want to drop it in chat, Jay.
Oh, did I do it correctly? Yep.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Good
MusicTeck
night.
will be carrying that soon too.
Thanks,
All
you,
right.
Leo.
Good night.
All right.